Hello and welcome to the first video in our second course. In this video, we will understand what a low fidelity wireframe is, how we can get ourselves drawing one, and then the things to consider in a low fidelity wireframe. Let's dive in. What are low fidelity wireframes? They are basically schematic illustrations of a page interface used to demonstrate the placement of content and functional elements of a page. Now, with low fidelity wireframes, we are trying to draw a sketch in the closest possible way of the design to make you have a view of the look and feel of the actual product. Now, with low fidelity wireframes, we know that since it has the word low, meaning that it has a lower complexity and it's less refined, so you will not be able to find detailed information such as the text or such as things like the content, but we'll be able to understand the structure and the functionality or how the page is going to function. So in this image here, we have three basic images that show us the medium, the low, and the high. So now let's compare these three. Let's start with the medium and the low. So with the low fidelity wireframe, you can see that we are shown the images which are shown by boxes and then rectangles which are crossed. And then you can see that the lines represent text, and then we have a call to action with the CTA and an action. But in the medium one, you see it's quite clearer. We have a top bar and it's more organized and more refined. And in our high fidelity is where we put in all the necessary information. So you see that in the low fidelity we had boxes, in the high fidelity we have real images, in the low fidelity we used lines to represent text, but in the high fidelity we actually have text, and our call to actions are actual buttons in our high fidelity. So you can see the process that moves from a low to a medium and finally to a high fidelity wireframe. Now, in the next set of slides, you're going to see how we can come up with a simple low fidelity wireframe for an app, which we'll see in the next slide. First of all, in my first section, which is shown by number 1, you can see that I have drawn a rectangle to show the screen of the mobile device, and there I have my top bar and I have some lines in between which I'll call my dividers. Okay, and in number 2 I have added some elements. So the lines, they represent text, and then the circles represent buttons. And in the third frame, you see that it's becoming clearer that after my header or after my top bar, which has buttons, which has text, I now move to my main area where I have an image, a text, and has dividers to divide the different sections of the page. Now, what am I trying to draw, or what wireframe am I trying to draw for an app? Here you could see that I am closely trying to draw something related to the popular WhatsApp. You will see that the images I am showing, the text I am showing, the buttons I have shown in circles, and also the notification of the first message. Now, this is just an example of a low fidelity wireframe. I want to task you watching right now to also draw your low fidelity wireframe. But before drawing, I want you to consider some key things here. Number 1 is your organization. How are you going to organize the components on your low fidelity wireframe? Your company logo, where are you going to place it? On the left, on the right, or you're not going to have it at all? Your body content, are you going to align them to the left, center, or the right? The search field, would you like to have a search field or not? And your header, and what components are going to go into your header? We need to always have our intent clear, that your wireframe should always put the function of the app at the forefront so that the design can fit users while highlighting the relevant functions. Never forget that. So, in today's class, we saw what a wireframe is, a low fidelity wireframe. We clearly defined it and saw an example. So for today, I want to challenge you. Pick one of your favorite applications and draw the wireframe. and share with us on Facebook or Twitter using the hashtag UX on IOU. Thank you and see you again.